Hello everyone. Welcome to the solutions to the second practice test for ACET exam. My name is Vamsidhar. As a part of this session, I'll walk you through the second mock test which we have conducted and the solutions associated with each and every question. So moving forward, the first one. Find the sum of the series 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 and so on. Now I want to do the summation for all. So for this, if you observe the way the series is constructed, right, probably you can look at it in various ways. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 9. Probably if we look at this 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 6 10 plus 9 19 plus 21 plus 16 37. Something which I am able to observe first of all is okay 1 plus 7 becomes 8, 8 plus 19 becomes 27, 27 plus 37 becomes 64. So if I am just looking at the summation, probably it is giving me an indication that this is 1 square, 1 cube, this is 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube and so on. So probably this is giving me an indication directly I am having some 20 terms here because the last term 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. So the fourth term is 4 squared. So the fifth one should be the 20th, this 400 is nothing but 20 squared. So probably I can say that there are 20 terms in this entire series and probably I can say 20 cube. 20 cube could be the value, which means 8000 could be the solution altogether. But let's see, is there any other way I can look at it? Probably what I will think of is I'll start writing it as 1 squared plus 1 into 2 plus 2 squared. This could be the possibility. Then plus 2 squared plus 2 into 3 plus 3 squared. This is something which I can think of. First ignore the first one. Then finally I am saying 19 squared plus 19 into 20 plus 20 squared. You can think of various ways of doing. Now only the first term if I add up, it is the sum of the squares of n natural numbers. So n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. 19 into n plus 1 20 into 2n plus 1 39 by 6. So probably this can get simplified to 190 times 13. 190 times 13, 39, 117, 13 plus 11, 24, 2470 is the value that is associated with this part. Then similarly I can do 2 squared plus 3 squared plus so on up to 20 squared. And probably if required even this 1 if I am including, then it is becoming 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared and so on up to 20 squared, which means I can talk about sum of the squares of the first 20 natural numbers, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. 3 2s, 3 7s, 2 1s, 2 10s. So I can very well talk about this as 2870. Right, this multiplication is becoming 2870 and then this is becoming 1 into 2, 2 into 3 and so on up to 19 into 20. So probably this is nothing but n into n plus 1, means this is becoming the summation of n squared plus n. Again from 1 to 19, n is from 1 to 19. So probably again sum of squares up to first 19 numbers. Sum of the squares of the first 19 numbers is nothing but 2470 again. So I can take this as 2470 and sum of the first 19 terms, n into n plus 1 by 2, 19 into 20 by 2, giving me 190. So probably I can add up all these. 21 plus 9, 30, 8, 16, 20, coming to us 8000. So whatever are the mechanisms I'm trying out, right? This is also probably looking at a squared plus ab plus b squared, right? This is what is nothing but a squared plus ab plus b squared kind of scenario. So sometimes I could even look out from the perspective of a cube minus b cube is equal to a minus b into a squared plus ab plus b squared. Multiple ways of looking at the same, right? I'm just giving you the various perspectives to it. When I'm saying a cube minus b cube, this is nothing but a squared plus ab plus b squared into a minus b. So at every point in time, a minus b, if I am taking it as 1, so overall this is coming out as 2 cube minus 1 cube. This will come out as 3 cube minus 2 cube, if you just see this. So this will come out as 4 cube minus 3 cube. Like this, if I am doing this, the last one will come out as 20 cube minus 19 cube. And all these terms will get cut off, and of course there is a plus 1, so even this will get cut off, and I am left only with 20 cube, which leaves me with an answer of 8000. So whatever as the model I am working on, overall the summation of this series is 8000, which helps me to mark the option choice D as the answer in this case. Alright, let's move on to our next question. Okay, if 100 times the 100th term of an AP. So what is the 100th term of an AP? A plus n minus 1 into D. A plus 99D. A plus 99D, 100 times the 100th term equals to 50 times the 50th term. What is the 50th term? A plus 49D. So if these two are equal, which means 100A plus 9900D is equal to 50A plus 2450D. Correct? Okay. So which will work out as 50A is equal to 2450 minus 9900D, which actually works out as minus, so 9900 minus 2450, so which will work out to 6550 D or 450, 6450 D, and from here the A is working out to minus 3 or minus 129D. A equal to minus 129D. Now if I am asking about the 15th term, all we are saying is A plus 14D. So A is nothing but minus 129D plus 14D, giving me minus 115D. Am I right? Minus 115D. If I talk about the 50th term, what is the 50th term? A plus 49D minus 129D plus 49D, working out to minus 80D. No, let's do once again. 100 times 100th term of an AP, A plus 99D, is equal to 50 times the 50th term. Okay, then the 15th term of this AP is, okay, 100A plus 9900D is equal to 50A plus 2450D. Until here we are fine, right? So, okay, 50A is equal to minus 6450D. 15th term is nothing but A plus 14D. A plus 14D, if I am looking at, A is nothing but okay, A plus 14D A plus 14D is working out to minus so the 15th term of this AP. So A is coming out as A is coming out as minus 6450 by 50D, which is working out to minus 1 5 14 by 5 twos, okay, minus 129D is the A. A plus 14D is working out to minus 129D plus 14D, working out to minus 115D. I'm sorry, there is a calculation mistake here. This actually is minus 7450D. So if I am doing minus 7450, this is becoming A equal to minus 149D. Right? A equal to minus 149D. And here I am not interested in not the 15th term. There was again a typo error here. This was the 150th term of this AP. So if I am talking about the 150th term, it is nothing but A plus 149D, which is nothing but minus 149 plus 149D, minus 149D plus 149D, taking it to 0. So marking D as the option choice. So a couple of small things, probably you can correct this question as then the 150th term of this AP is not the 15th term. So there was a typo mistake when we are discussing on this. So please be careful on that aspect. Alright. Let's move on to the next question here. Yeah. The population P of T at time T of a certain mouse species satisfies the differential equation dP of T by dt is equal to 0.5 P of T minus 450. So this is the typical differential equation. So solving this, what we should look at is this is of the form. For us, this is of the, probably I can write it, probably for simplification, I suggest P of T, take it as Y. So probably I can write it as dy by dt is equal to 0.5y minus 450. We have seen in one of our lectures that if at all we are talking about dy by dx plus f of x times y is equal to g of x form. If our differential equation is of this form, dy by dx plus some fx of y is equal to some other g of x kind of a form, we said we will take e power integral f of x dx as the multiplication factor across. So probably this I am thinking of writing it as dy by dt minus 0.5y is equal to minus 450. So probably this f of x I am treating it as minus 0.5 and g of x I will treat it as minus 450. So the multiplication factor for me will come out as e power minus 0.5 dx, which will come out as e power minus 0.5x to start off. So this is the multiplication factor to start off, right? E power minus 0.5x is the multiplication factor for this equation. Now how do I use that? I'll say dy by dt into e power minus 0.5x minus 0.5y e power minus 0.5x is equal to minus 450 e power minus 0.5x. This is what is the expression. Fair enough. Now you look at this box. This will always come out of the form. This is nothing but the d by dt of y into e power minus 0.5x. Look at it. Y into e power minus 0.5x into minus 0.5. This is what is this number, plus e power minus 0.5x into dy by dt, or probably you call this as t. So this will be the solution for the left hand side part. Right hand side I will keep it always as 450 into e power minus point. We have discussed similar problem in our reading material also. So if I want to expand it, e power minus 0.5 t, okay, wherever x was there you please take it as t. So integral of minus 450 e power minus 0.5 t dt. So which will work out as minus 450 into e power minus 0.5 t by minus 0.5 plus c. So overall working out to 900 into e power minus 0.5 t plus c. And now I'll use this question, p of 0 equal to 850. So whenever I'm substituting t equal to 0, I'm getting this. So this becomes 850 into e power 0. So left hand side is 850 is equal to 900 into e power 0 1 plus c, which is working out to c as minus 50. That's one thing. And now he is asking the time at which the population becomes 0. Population is nothing but p of t. Why? Where is y becoming 0? So our general equation now is coming out as y into e power minus 0.5 t is equal to 900 e power minus 0.5 t minus 50, which is c. Now I want y equal to 0. So if this entire thing has to be 0, then 900 into e power minus 0.5 t should be equal to 50. From here it's working out e power minus 0.5 t is equal to 50 by 900, which is 1 by 18. If I am doing 1 by, it is becoming e power 0.5 t equal to 18. So works out as 0.5 t equal to log 18 and t is equal to 1 by 0.5 log 18, which works out to 2 log 18. So the time at which the population becomes 0 is working out as 2 log 18, wherein I can mark the answer choice as A. Probably this is a slightly lengthy question for 2 marks, but sometimes we have to be very comfortable in terms of eliminating the answer to eliminating the questions also, or probably prioritizing the question so that we get a better leverage by first completing those questions which are more comfortable and then looking at the other ones. All right. So let's move on to the next aspect now then. Next question. Okay, three numbers are chosen at random without replacement from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So without replacement means there is no repetition in the numbers. The probability is that their minimum is 3. If their minimum value has to be 3, what are the possibilities that are there? Only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Given that their maximum is 6, it's given that the maximum is 6. So out of this 6, so it could be the maximum is 6, could very well be the case that 1, 2, 6, right? Maximum is given as 6. So 1, 3, 6, 2, 3, 6. These are the various possibilities that can come out. 2, 4, 6, 1, 4, 6. Like this, we have so many possibilities, which means if the maximum has to be 6, then probably the three numbers, whatever we are choosing, could be chosen in three ways. Out of the top 6, right, maximum is 6 means my whole possibilities 7 and 8 are not there, and out of the 6 I want to select 3, so which can be done in 3 ways, which means 6 into 5 into 4 by 3 factorial 6, which is working out that there are 20 such ways in which 3 numbers can be chosen from the first 6. But he's saying what is the chance that their minimum is 3? Their minimum is 3 means there are only 4 possibilities to choose: 3, 4, 5, 6. Only out of these 4, I have to select 3 of them, which can be done only in 4C3 ways, means 4 ways. So the overall probability is coming out as 4 by 20, which is nothing but 1 by 5. So I can mark B as the answer choice in this question. I hope this is comfortable. The probability that their minimum is 3 given max is 6. I can very well use the conditional probability formula also. The probability of m equal to 3 and max equal to 6 divided by probability of max equal to 6. If I say probability of max equal to 6, means out of the 6 numbers I have to choose 3 of them, which can be done in 3 ways. Probability of min equal to 3 and max equal to 6 means there are only 4 possibilities to choose from. So selecting 3 out of those 4 can be done in 4C3 ways, which will again work out to 1 by 5, which will give me an option choice as B in this case. Is this fine? Alright, let's move on to the next question then. Find the coefficient of x power 7 in the expansion of this. Probably this you could very well have written 1 minus x minus of x squared into 1 minus x to the power 6. So this could easily come out as 1 minus x. If I am taking out, it is becoming into 1 minus x squared, and this entire thing is getting to the power of 6. So it is also coming out as 1 minus x. If possible, I can very well write it as again 1 minus x squared, I can very well write it as 1 minus x into 1 plus x. Even that could very well be written. Okay, we can very well write it as 1 minus x into 1 minus x into 1 plus x, this entire thing to the power of 6. So working it out as 1 minus x whole squared into 1 plus x to the power this to the power 6, otherwise working out as 1 minus x to the power 12 into 1 plus x to the power 6. So this is what is the number that is working out to 1 minus x to the power 12 into 1 plus x to the power 6. Now I want the coefficient of x power 7. If I want the coefficient of x power 7, then probably all that could come is from each of these terms multiplied with each of these terms. That is what could result in the various combinations of x power 7 term, right? 1 minus x plus, so the typical expansion, we know that the typical expansion of 1 plus x to the power n, so 1 plus x to the power of n simply becomes nc0 into x power 0 plus nc1 into x power 1 into nc2 into x squared, right? So probably a 6c0, 6c1, 6c2, 6c3 into x cube, 6c4 into x power 4. This is what is the expansion up to 6c6 into x power 6. This is the left hand side part. And the 1 minus x also goes like this only. 12c0 into x power 0 minus 12, will get alternate. Minus 12c1 into x power 1 plus 12c2 into x squared and so on, right? So now if I want the x power 7 term, it's nothing but, okay, this is x power 0. So this number to be multiplied with x power 7 term here. So I'll get it as minus 12c7. Okay. Then what about the other two? I'm using 1 plus then we are talking about x power 1. So it becomes plus 6 into 12c6. Then again x power 5 term. So minus 6c2 into 12c5. Again plus 6c3 into 12c4 minus 6c4 into 12c3 plus 6c5 into 12c2 minus 6c6 into 12c1. These are the various coefficients that we can encounter, right? So I can solve this numbers and I can come out with the answer. Or is there any other way out? Or probably we can keep it here itself. Let's try out one more way if it is possible. 1 minus x minus of x squared into 1 minus x to the power 6. So I can write it as 1 minus x to the power 6 into 1 minus x squared to the power 6. If I keep it like this only, right, at least now I'll use the binomial theorem. So here I know at least only the even functions will come. So this will come out as 6c0 into x squared to the power 6 minus 6c1 into x squared to the power 4 plus 6c2 into x squared cube minus 6c3 into x squared to the power x square, this is to the power 5, this is to the power 4 x squared cube plus 6c4 into x squared squared minus 6c5 into x squared plus 6c6 into x squared to the power 0. So if this is the expansion of 1 minus x squared, and 1 minus x goes as 6c0 minus 6c1 x power 5 plus 6c2 x power 4 and so on. Now I can see x power 7, okay, x power 6 does not result in x power 7, but x power 5 could result in x power 7, because here I can take the x squared. So probably I'll take it as minus 6c1 into minus 6c5. X power 4 does not result, but x cube could result. So which will come out as minus 6c3, and here x power 4 should come, means into 6c4. This is one thing. Then 6 x power x cube, x squared cannot result, and x can very well result. So for x it will become minus 6c5, and here if I want x power 6 it becomes minus 6c3. So let's try out. So these are the total things that could work out. So minus 6c1 into minus 6c5, 6 into 6, 36, 6c3 is 20, 6c4, 6 into 4, so 6c4 is 15. So 20 into 15 is working out to minus 300, and here 6c5 is 6, 6 into 3, 6c3 is 20, 20 into 6, 120. So 156 minus 300 resulting in minus 144. This is slightly a simpler solution. So minus 144, wherein I am marking the C as the option choice as minus 144. Alright. These are slightly lengthy questions. We need to become slightly comfortable in terms of solving all of them. They'll really give a good leverage for us. Yeah, let's move on to the next question now. A man saves 200 in each of the first 3 months of his service. In each of the subsequent months, his savings increase by 40 more than the saving of the immediately previous month. So which means from the fourth month, probably in the fourth month, is saving 240, then is saving 280 and something like this. Okay, his total saving from the start of service will be 11,040 after how many months? So probably if I just take out, it's like 200 plus 200 plus 200 plus 240 plus 280 plus so on up to some x number of months. I'm talking it as 11,040. Or to create an arithmetic progression, if I progress from here, then I could have taken it as 200 plus 240 plus 280 plus so on up to n periods. This should be equal to 1140 minus 400. 11,040 minus 400 will become 10,640. Right? 10,640. So sum of how many terms of this arithmetic progression is going to be 10,640. For whatever that answer I get, I'll add 2 to it to say these are the number of months. So sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression is working out to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. We have seen that formula. So which is nothing but in this case I'll take n by 2 into 2a is 400 plus n minus 1 into d is 40, the common difference. This is working out to 10,640. So if I expand it, it's nothing but 200n plus n into n minus 1 by 2 into 40. So 20n squared minus 20n equal to 10,640. So simplification wise, if I simplify removing the 20 again, n squared plus 9n, 180n, so I am taking out 20. It is becoming plus 9n, and if I start taking out 20 even from this solution, it is becoming 5, right? This is 164, so 23 is 60, so 532. N squared plus 9n is coming out as 532. Otherwise, I can write it as n squared plus 9n minus 532 equal to 0. And just to give us the scenario, probably I can take it as n squared plus 28n minus 19n minus 532 equal to 0, giving me n plus 28 into n minus 19 equal to 0. So n is 19. But let's remember that n, so sum of the first 19 terms is actually becoming equal to, sum of the first 19 terms is becoming equal to 10,640, but I have to add the first two terms also. So overall I am saying that at the end of 21 months, the amount is touching 11,040. So I'll go with marking 21 months as the time period for the amount to touch 11,040. So I'll be marking the option choice D as the answer in this case. Alright. So let's move on to the next question here. If omega is a cube root of unity and 1 plus omega to the power 7 equal to a plus b omega, 1 plus omega to the power 7. See, we know that in cube root of unity 1 plus omega squared equal to 0. So I will write it as minus omega squared to the power 7 is equal to a plus b omega, which means minus omega to the power 14 is equal to a plus b omega, which again will work out to minus omega squared, because we know omega cube is always equal to 1. So this I could have written it as omega cube to the power 4 into minus omega squared is equal to a plus bw. So which is working out to, this is 1. So this will be left with minus omega squared equal to a plus bw. Otherwise this is nothing but 1 plus omega equal to a plus b omega. So a equal to 1, b equal to 1. So which will give me that the B is the answer choice in this case. I hope this is a straightforward problem. All you need to remember is some of the formulas associated with the complex numbers itself. Alright, let's move on to the next question now. If dy by dx is equal to y plus 3 is greater than 0 and y of 0 equal to 2, find the value of y log 2. Dy by dx equal to y plus 3. So we can very well talk about y. It's a straightforward thing. Dy by dx is coming out as y plus 3. So I can very well talk about y as the same way we have done the earlier problem. Just to repeat or just to get a hold on it, I have used this model again. Dy by dx minus y is equal to 3. So if this is always of this form, we can use the multiplication factor as e power f of x dx. Integral e power integral f of x dx. So f of x, I can think of it as minus 1. So it becomes e power integral 1 dx. So which means e power minus x is the multiplication factor. So I'll do the multiplication as e power minus x dy by dx minus y into e power minus x equal to 3 into e power minus x. And the left hand side always is of the form dy by dx of y into e power minus x. You look at it. Y into e power minus x into minus y minus 1 plus e power minus x into dy by dx is equal to 3 into e power minus x. So I can do an integration. So y into e power minus x is equal to 3 into integral of e power minus x dx, which will become 3 into e power minus x and minus plus c. And it is seeing y of 0 equal to 2. So the right and left hand side is 2 equal to minus 3 plus c, working out to c equal to 5. So the equation is becoming y into e power minus x is equal to minus 3 e power minus x plus 5. And is asking y of log 2. So substitute x equal to log 2. Y into e power minus log 2 is equal to minus 3 into e power minus log 2 plus 5. Now we can very well say e power minus log 2. This could very well be taken as per the rules. I can take it as 2 power minus 1. So e power log half is equal to minus 3 e power log half plus 5. So e power log half base e, which is nothing but half. So y by 2 is equal to minus 3 by 2 plus 5. So y by 2 equal to 7 by 2, from where I can solve it as y equal to 7, marking the option choice A as my answer. So these are all slightly tricky kind of questions, but yes, for the exam standpoint, you have to prepare yourself from all dimensions. So that is where we are targeting these kind of questions, so that you get comfortable solving all these varieties of questions. Alright. So if at all a question is given of this form where dy by dx equal to some fx of y plus some g of x, then you should go ahead solving it of this form using a multiplier on both the sides. Alright. Let's move on to the next question now. Consider 5 independent Bernoulli trials, each with a probability of success of P. Probability of at least one failure. So the failure is 1 minus P, right? Probability of at least one failure is greater than or equal to 31 by 32. So at least one failure is greater than 31 by 32 means the probability of all successes is P into P into P into P. The probability of all successes, which is P per n, is less than 1 by 32. So P power n should be less than or equal to 1 by 2 power 5. P per n should be less than, and we are also talking about 5 independent trials. So P per 5 should be less than or equal to 1 by 2 to the power 5. So which is also saying that P should be less than or equal to 1 by 2. If P is less than or equal to 1 by 2, and we know that the probability should lie only between 0 and 1, P should be greater than or equal to 0, So overall we are saying that the probability of success should lie between 0 and half, so that the probability of all 5 successes is less than or equal to 1 by 32, so that at least one failure will lie anything greater than 31 by 32, because at least one failure means it should not include even one success also. So I'll mark C as the answer in this case. Alright. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. Okay. If A, B, C are three sets such that A and B, which is A intersection B, is equal to A intersection C, and A union B is equal to A union C, which means B and C are equal kind of sets. So which is directly marking us, giving us that the C is the answer, because if A union B equal to A union C and A intersection B equal to A intersection B C, then both the values of A, B and C should be more or less the same itself, which means I am marking the option choice C as the answer here. Alright. Let's move to the next question then. Right. The value of the correlation is reported by a researcher to be R equal to minus 0.5. Which of the following statements is correct? Whenever we are talking about the explanation part, we are more interested in R squared. So R squared is 0.25, which means the proportion of the variability in the y variable that is explained by the x variable. So probably I can very well say that the x variable explains 25% of the variability of the y variable. This is purely coming from the conceptual aspect of the coefficient of determination itself. Alright, let's move on to the next question then. A survey asks people how often they exceed speed limits. Data are characterized in the following contingency table of count, showing the relationship between age group and responses. Among the people with age under 30, so this is the group of people age under 30. What are the odds that they always exceed the speed limit? So always exceed versus don't always exceed. 100 is to 100, which is 1 to 1. Always, so whenever we are talking about odds, we are always talking about the ratio between the two values. But when we talk about the probability, we talk about it as the value upon the total. Whereas whenever we talk about the odds, we always talk about P is to 1 minus P, which is 100 is to 100, gives me the answer as 1 is to 1, which is the option choice C in this case. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. Calculate the median of the following set of data. This is a straightforward question. Just arrange the data in the ascending order and pick out the middle one. So probably, yeah, this is the first, because we have 10 elements here. The average of the fifth and the sixth will be becoming my median here. So this is the first. Oh, this data is already arranged in the ascending order, no issues. So these two are the fifth and the sixth. So the average of these two numbers is what will become my median. 537 plus 599 divided by 2. So somewhere around 568 is what is coming out as the average between the two, which means I am marking C as the option choice here. Alright, let's move on to the next question. If you have a data set that consists of the following three values, 1, 2, 3, which of the following statement is true? The range of the data is 3. No, the range of the data is the maximum minus the minimum, which is 2. So this is not a correct answer. The sample standard deviation equal to sample average. Sample average is 1 plus 2 plus 3 by 2, which is 2. Very fine. Then sample standard deviation. I subtract each number from the mean whole squared plus 2 minus 2 whole squared plus 3 minus 2 whole squared divided by, because it's a sample standard deviation, I'll divide it by n minus 1, which is coming out as 3 minus 1, 2. So 1 plus 0 plus 1 by 2, which is coming out to 1. So sample standard deviation variance, this is sample variance. Sample variance is equal to 1. Sample standard deviation equal to square root of 1, which is again 1. So probably though B is not the answer, I can very well go with C, saying sample standard deviation is equal to sample variance, because both of them are working out to 1 itself. Alright. So let's move on to the next question now. Consider the following data set. Yeah, compute the variance for it. Well, again a straightforward but a lengthy kind of a question. Right, so when we are going ahead with it, yeah, I'll look at the numbers 14, 23, 9, 12, 21, 18 and 8. So these are the numbers. So I should find out the mean, which is nothing but the average of all these numbers. So this is the mean. So I'm subtracting the mean from each of the numbers. So here the mean is coming out to 15 straightforward. So I'll subtract the mean from each of the numbers. So 14 minus 15, 1 squared, so 1. 23 minus 15, 8 squared, 64. 9 minus 15, 6 squared, 36. 12 minus 15, 3 squared, 9. 21 minus 15, 6 squared, 36. 18 minus 15, 3 squared, 9. 8 minus 15, 7 squared, 49. Alright, now we are looking at the summation of all these. So this is 100 and we have 110, 155 plus 49, 204. 204 divided by 7, almost close to 30. So 29 points. So I can very well mark this D, 29.143 as the option choice here. Alright. Let's move further to the next question. If P by P per Q equal to Q per P, find the value of this. Okay. P power Q equal to Q per P. So it's always better to take logarithms on both sides. So Q log P is equal to P log Q, which means I can get P by Q is equal to log P by log Q. Something like this. Right? So we'll start off. Now let's try to expand this. P by Q to the power log P by log Q. And here we are talking about P power. P is nothing but, so when I say P by Q equal to log P by log Q, probably I can say P by Q to the power P by Q is equal to log P by Q to the power P by Q minus P power P by Q minus 1. Alright? Or probably let's look at it like this. P by Q or P power Q is equal to Q power P. So either we can take some example and try it out, or probably I could look at it as, so if I take both of them to the power 1 by q, what is becoming p equal to q power p by q, right? So p equal to q power p by q. So I can substitute the same. In case of p by q, in case of p, I'll write it as q power p by q divided by q to the power p by q, minus, in place of p, I'll write it as q power p by q to the power p by q minus 1. So it is working out as, internally this is becoming p by q minus 1 to the power p by q minus q power p by q to the power p by q minus 1. So it is as good as a power m whole power n minus a power n whole power m. Both of them are a power mn only. So which is actually equal to 0. So that is why we can mark the option choice C in this case, and we can very well go ahead with the answer. Right, this is a slightly simpler way of solving the numerical compared to the earlier way which we were looking at. All right, let's move on to the next question now. Okay, slightly simpler. If log x plus 1 to the base root 3 equal to 2, which means x plus 1 equal to root 3 to the power of 2. So x plus 1 equal to 3, which is working out that x equal to 2. A direct question giving an option choice as 3. C, where the answer is 2. Moving on to the next question now. Find the value of square root of 2 plus square root plus so on up to infinite. These kind of questions, you can very well take them as, assume y equal to square root of 2 plus, again this is also an infinite, the same y, so you will take it always as y equal to square root of 2 plus y. So expanded y squared equal to 2 plus y squared minus y minus 2 equal to 0, y minus 2 into y plus 1 equal to 0, y equal to 2 or minus 1. Square root cannot be a negative number, so this cannot be the answer. So we'll go with y equal to 2, which will work out as B as the option choice. So I'll mark B as the answer in this case. So whenever any kind of a numerical is given of this form, please solve in this method only. Alright. Okay, let's move further. Find the value of 3 power n plus 1 plus 3 power n divided by 3 power n plus 3 minus 3 power n. Just simplify it. Take out 3 power n. It's becoming 3 plus 1. And here also take out 3 power n plus 1. 3 squared minus 1. So 3 power n into 4 divided by 3 power n plus 1 into 8. So this is 2, and 3 power n by 3 power n plus 1 is again 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 into 1 by 2 working out to 1 by 6, making me mark B as the answer choice in this case. It's a matter of simple simplification using the various formulas itself. Alright. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. The minimum value of the function x squared minus 6x plus 10 equal to, there is no equal to 0 here. Minimum value of the function x squared minus 6x plus 10 is, so I can very well mark. So if I want to find out the maxima or the minima, as we discussed earlier also, take the derivative of it, which becomes 2x minus 6, equate it to 0. So x equal to 3. At x equal to 3, x equal to 3 is not the minimum. At x equal to 3, the minimum will occur. So here he is asking the minimum value where the value of x where the minimum will occur, or is it the minimum value? We have to be very careful on those lines. Okay, so because we have an answer choice 3 also here, but he is asking for the minimum value, which means you substitute this value of x back. 3 squared minus 6 into 3 plus 10. 9 plus 10, 19 minus 1, 19 minus 18 equal to plus 1, which means actually A has to be the answer, not C. Please be careful on it. Whether we are talking about the value of x where the function is minimum, or is the question asking about what is the minimum value of the function only. We have to be very careful from that dimension. Alright, let's move on to the next question now.